Hello guys! And as you would know, this is the very last update for the non-stop infinite climax run.
You bring me enough of these halos, and maybe I can buy a ticket to space.
So first off, before we actually get started, I need to kind of fill in my magic and health. Not that I actually need the health, but it's just nice to see those two bars completely filled up. But the magic actually comes in useful, especially in the boss fight coming up. But as you would imagine, it takes quite a while to do this, so let's just have a little bit of a chipmunk time here. Yes, we're going to be needing all three of those magic bars. And by the way, that's what it looks like when you visit the shop when you don't have Bayonetta. So only for this chapter will you see that. Not that it's any different. But there you go. And of course a costume change is needed. I don't feel anything particular about the Umbra training costume. It's not a bad costume, it's not a great costume either, if you ask me. So,
the left eye, our treasured left eye, will never fall into the hands of another. It is the pride of the Umbra witches.
So I remember when I first recorded the normal playthrough, I had a bit of trouble with this verse. It's actually not so hard now. If you dodge the bike, like I'm showing you there, and to kill these harmonies, you actually get more combo points, I think. In any case, it's a lot easier. And on Non-Stop Infinite Climax, when it comes to the kinship, I will always run the hell away from this guy, because if you don't kill this guy fast enough and he manages to shoot his laser, the laser will pretty much always home on you, and because you didn't get witch time, it does a lot of damage. You can do a full bar of damage if you let it do that. The rest of this bike ride up the tower isn't anything different from the other difficulties. Just keep shooting, and yeah, the combo points are really low for these chapters, so I wouldn't really have an issue with it. One thing to build up your combo points definitely low is to, as always, run between the legs of these beloved. Yeah. It'll rack up your combo points pretty okay. Now the third verse. For some reason, the Gaze of Despair actually takes effect on this verse against these, enchants. Yes, I remembered their names. It's kind of funny because you never ever see them. But yeah, if you put the Gaze of Despair on, it should help you get the combo rank for this. And if you somehow manage to dodge the bike into them instead of killing them with your bullets, you should also get more combo points that way. Okay, fourth verse coming up. There is a little trick to actually killing everything on here and not having the pile of bodies disintegrate underneath your feet. Basically what you do is if you stick to the bottom half of each statue, then they won't go away for a long time. So you see there it lasted a lot longer than if I had just run up it. Oh, and if you somehow manage to get caught on the falling bodies, and I do believe if you actually fall back to earth, you actually will get the instant kill there. But if you do get caught there, you can just Umbran Spear on the various deers, and hopefully not die. But yeah, it's kind of a funny thing actually, because these 4 verses plus the Alfheim coming up makes it so that you actually play as Jean more than Bayonetta, or more than any other character, actually. Because you will always play as Jean for these 5 verses. Now, I may have actually played through the game on the lower difficulties, but as you saw there, it said that the Alfheim hadn't been previously completed, as you would normally see if you're going from lower to higher difficulties. The thing is, it doesn't actually count it as completed until you actually take the prize. And the last Wicked Weave Alfheim of the game, nothing different. The best thing about the Shiraba Wicked Weave is that it goes through multiple enemies, and if it does that, then I'm not exactly sure what factor it actually increases the Wicked Weave combo point, but it increases every time it passes through an enemy. Sometimes you'll see it, like it did there, for example. I got a 45 and a 67, which means it's passed through the enemy twice. I think it's like a 1/3 increase or something. That's just a guess, though. Whatever. And there, 2 full bars, all nice and clean. Everything is filled out. So as you can see, we are rapidly approaching full 100% completion of this game. I had to spend some time thinking what I needed for Jubileus here, and I probably shouldn't have put the shotguns there because, as you'll see later, it caused a bad thing to happen. Well, not the end of the world, so to speak, haha, but it wasn't good. I did say earlier that I didn't really have much of an opinion on this costume. One thing I have noticed though is that it is very similar in style to Bayonetta's old costume. It seems like, I suppose if you want to go into kind of like backstory of the game, which no one really cares about, is that her old costume is like an amalgamation of the training outfit, and you know, I'm assuming scraps she managed to sort of bring together. You know, Bayonetta being an outcast and all that. Anyway, this boss's difficulty does not change at all on high difficulties. I mean, you so very rarely trigger witch time on her anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And the only real big tip I can think of for this boss is to wear electric dagger on your feet for most of the time, and when it gets to the next stage, wear the skates. And yes, if you can, Umbran Spear everywhere is a lot faster. I used to just pant the offset. It was a lot slower. It is very difficult to keep your combo going. in this fight, but I don't think it should matter too much. Yeah, I can't really think of any major points where you would build combo points here, but it's not ever an issue for me. So here we have first of the three sort of elemental worlds that Jubileus summons. And what I always do is put the ice skates on my feet, so that means you can run over the lava. You can also put Fire Durga if you really want to, but this putting on the skates means that it works for the next world as well. One thing to note is that when you're running or jumping between platforms is that if you manage to jump into a lava burst, then that does hurt you. Unfortunately. Nothing really special about this world though, because we've dealt with fire before in previous levels and it's pretty easy. There's not too many environmental hazards in this world. But the next one coming up is my least favourite one. This world, for some reason, I feel has a lot more environmental hazards than the previous world. For one thing, there are falling icicles, there is gigantic balls of ice that slowly bowl towards you. If you stick around a platform for long enough, then you can get ice sticking up on you, making you freeze, and then you've got these dudes here shooting the ice balls at you, which if they catch you will freeze you. And what actually sometimes happens to me is it will catch me, it will freeze me, I will fall dead because I'm frozen. And then the ice attack from the ground will kill me, basically, because it happens so many times. I'll show it off in the next video for Jubileus because I realised I haven't shown off a lot of her other attacks that actually do damage. Yeah, I don't like the ice world at all. The air/electrical world is kind of annoying, but not nearly as bad as the ice world. It's only annoying in that you have to jump from platform to platform. And if you stick around on those small platforms long enough, then Jubileus will break them like that. And if you are caught in the air for long enough, then you will get caught in a hurricane basically and you get some damage done to you. Again, I'll show it off in the next video. But yes, you see here I've reverted back to the electric Durga on the feet. That's because when those electric beams of light fire... No. Sometimes you get the electric orbs. Yeah, sometimes those phases will shoot out electric orbs that electrify the ground. And if you don't want to bother dodging those, then you can just wear electric Durga on your feet. But yeah, this one really isn't all that hard. It's just a bit frustrating. It's kind of like this awkward change of pace because the previous two worlds you could do whatever you wanted really, and in this one you have to sort of hopefully meet up with a platform. And here's the bad thing that I did. In case you don't remember, inclusive of the Kilgore glitch, there is the Onyx glitch, which is the same deal as the Kilgore glitch but with the shotguns, and I accidentally did that to her. but the more observant of you will have noticed that Jubileus has actually gained back a health bar. That's because the checkpointing in this boss is a little bit broken. Alright, so first checkpoint you get in this boss fight is the very beginning. So if you lose health between that, you can restart and you start over at the beginning of the boss fight again. Second one is after you finish the ice world. And then the third and last well, not the last one, the third checkpoint here for this boss fight is after you finish the electric air world. And what I found the game does is that if you restart after the third checkpoint, it will put Jubileus' health at what it was at the second checkpoint, that is to say the checkpoint after you finish the ice world. It's not really an issue. I mean, it's kind of a weird oversight they somehow kept in the game. It just means that it kind of artificially lengthens the length of this boss fight. I'm actually not sure where it counts the combo points for this boss when you restart, and how it counts the time as well, but the timing on this boss is very generous. I think it's about... I'm gonna guess here, I don't have my book on hand, I think it's probably about 12 to 15 minutes. Possibly longer. Yes, the final stage of this boss here adds a couple of new attacks. We've already seen this one, which is kind of like the smaller version of an ice world. Sorry, the fire world. She also gains an ice one, where she can pretty much do a hailstorm on you of icy death, basically. There's also an electric one, which is coming up soon, I believe, and that just has lasers that home in on you. There's also that black hole attack, which she does a lot for some reason. She pretty much alternates between doing the black hole attack, the galaxy attack, where if it hits you, you turn into a young Jean or Bayonetta. Oh, and by the way, if you get hit by the galaxy attack when you're Zero, he just turns into a little baby Zero. Kind of like what you would get when you're using the accessory that's associated with him. So if you get sucked into this black hole here, that is an instant death, by the way. And I always find this attack a little bit odd because you're probably more focused on running away from it and not getting instantly killed rather than attacking, because you can attack her during that attack. You can attack those little hair branchy things. Dodging the galaxy attack is a little bit difficult, and what I used to do was you run around in Panther mode and you jump, and on the second jump you can change directions, and that used to work pretty well. But I changed it to using the bird form, because it's a lot easier and more consistent, basically. By the way, these three floating little heads do have a name. I'm not sure what it is at the moment, but they do an attack. They charge you, and it's a little bit hard to even sort of tell when that attack is going to come. But if you look at their mouths, they will sort of they will open their mouths as they're going to do it. That's probably the easiest indication that I can give you, because apparently there is an audio cue, but it's really hard to hear on top of everything else in this boss fight. The reason I put up the feathers, by the way, is because those heads can attack you. They can and will attack you when you're in the air. And the feathers act as a pretty decent deterrent. Man, if that checkpoint had worked properly, we would have finished this boss by now. Honestly, the last stage of this boss is very grindy because she pretty much just only does the same couple of attacks over and over again. And it's not all that varied, honestly. She pretty much, for me anyway, she just alternated between doing this attack here and the punch attack and God, the black hole attack. Luckily though, we are almost done. You can use the Bracelet of Time to sort of, in a sense, speed things up, but if you're very observant, then you'll see that you actually lose a bar of health every time Jubileus goes into a stunned animation, so to speak. I'm not really sure why that is, it's not because you're using any magic or anything in any sort, but it just happens. Ooh, yeah. Oh, by the way, this thing here. Once you get to the top of this hair tower, whatever you want to call it, you only have a minute to finish her off. After that, she will actually break free of her bonds, and you get to finish fighting her with this music going on. It's actually happened to me once, because I didn't know there was actually a time limit. And for me, I find it's best to actually destroy those floating heads just before you finish her off, because they can charge you from off screen and they have an audio cue which is ridiculously hard to hear. So kill them first and you save yourself a little bit of trouble there. One thing to note about this section here, which I am going to speed up because it's nothing new, is that on the PS3 version, guiding Jubileus into the sun actually is a lot more difficult than on the Xbox version. I think for some reason, just her controls are a lot more. They don't seem as powerful, so to speak. So you're not able to guide her exactly around the planets, but more like just barely not touching them. Anyway, that's done. All done. Well, I lied about the time. It must be at least 15 or so minutes. I know what you're saying. Why did I leave this in? I actually do like this piece of music. I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't actually kind of flesh it out more rather than just a, hey, it's a joke.
Unbelievable. We managed to stop this abomination, and it's still going to destroy the world.
John!
Come now. You're one of a kind. You die here, who's going to save the world? I'll send you home, even if it kills me. Now, let's finish this.
You and I are going home together. John, we're both one of a kind.
Now those are the eyes I've been waiting to see.
One thing about this verse here is that there is actually, obviously there's a time limit on it. I haven't actually ever seen what happens if you break that time limit, because the platinum rank for time on this verse is pretty much just enough to finish this off. If you go past it, then you can actually tell that you're too late, because everything starts getting very red because you're very, very slowly getting into the Earth's atmosphere. I'm kind of curious what the actual game over screen will be like here if I run out of time. It actually is pretty easy to miss the platinum combo rank for this. I'm not really sure what the difference is, but if you use a punch, 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 punch attack, then you will probably get it more than if you just use punch, 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 kick. Punch, 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 kick. Yes. In other words, it's more difficult than it seems to get platinum on that.
Let's go! Just stay close to me!
Let's dance, boys!
I couldn't figure out a good way to edit this so I could just show the fights, so I'm leaving this in. Plus it's not often you hear this piece of music anyway. Now it would seem that you probably couldn't restart these fights, but you actually can if you get hit by any point. If you get hit or if you miss one, you can just restart and it will restart you at the beginning of these last three verses. So you shouldn't really have an excuse to miss these last three, although apparently it is doable. I've never done it myself, but it is doable to miss one of these three. Gosh, this verse here only annoys me because they give me weapons that I would never use in my actual gameplay. And all these weapons that don't dodge, offset, and continue your combo. Ugh. Like I said, if you want an amazing amount of combo points, Gaze of Despair plus Angel Weapons. Plus Witch Time if you can manage it. But yes, that marks the end of Non-Stop Infinite Climax with Jean. It's been a pretty fun ride doing this one, to be honest. Don't think anyone's ever really done a new game on Non-Stop Infinite Climax. And yes, for finishing the game on Non-Stop Infinite Climax, you get a trophy and a Umbran Tear of Blood. Legendary Dark Witch.
Celebration, bitches.
And that just adds to your list of 101 Umbran Tears of Blood, which I will show off soon. So when you finish Non-Stop Infinite Climax, you will get your message. Your skills are truly magical is when you finish Non-Stop Infinite Climax with a pure platinum. If you just finish it with any other award rank than you, it will say beautiful, truly magical. Yes, there's a slight little difference there, and I think you get different messages for finishing it on normal as well. But yes, I want to thank you guys for watching. I enjoyed doing this. And I will see you guys next time.
Well, that about wraps it up, huh?
Not yet.